Meet JJ. JJ is a Year 10 student at Fort Street High School. He is an avid video gamer, and his dream job is to become a video game designer. He heard that Macquarie University has a games design and development course, so he decides to visit and see whether he'd like to study there. He makes a list of places he wants to visit. Firstly, all of the departments that offer units in the game design course: the computing department, maths department, and arts faculty. Then, to keep his parents happy, the economics department. And because teaching also interests him, the Institute of Early Childhood. Then, some student faculties: the library, sports and aquatics centre, campus hub, digital lounge, bookshop, and Macquarie Lecture Theatre. JJ's list is quite long, and being lazy, he decides to plan a route so that he doesn't have to walk any further than he absolutely has to.
JJ's problems happens to be a classic math problem known as the travelling salesman problem. The salesman must visit a number of cities or towns spread across a geographical area and wants to know the shortest, quickest, cheapest route. Mathematicians have struggled with this problem for many years and yet are still no closer to finding a solution. Algorithms like the nearest neighbour or cheapest link algorithm have been proposed, but none guarantee an optimal result in every case. Let's see how they work in JJ's case. JJ plans to catch the train to Macquarie Uni Station, so that's his starting position. Using the nearest neighbour algorithm, he simply picks the location, vertex, nearest to the station, which is the economics department building, a distance of 400 meters. Then JJ finds the location, or vertex, nearest to the economics department, which happens to be the computing department, only 50 meters away. As he arrives at each location, the distances to the remaining unvisited locations are compared and the nearest location is selected. In this way, the route is built up. From the computing department, the nearest location is the digital lounge, which is 230 meters away. Then the next nearest locations in order are the library, 100 meters, the maths department, 230 meters, Macquarie Lecture Theatre, 300 meters, Early Childhood Institute, 160 meters, the Co-op Bookshop, 400 meters, the Campus Hub, 100 meters, the Sport and Aquatics Centre, 350 meters. The distance travelled so far is 2,320 meters. Now there is only one location not visited, and it's quite a long way away. It's 900 meters to the arts faculty, and another 1,100 meters to get back to the starting point, the train station. So, the nearest neighbour's route comes to 4,320 meters. That's quite a long walk. Steps of the nearest neighbour algorithm. 1. Start on an arbitrary vertex as current vertex. 2. Find out the shortest edge connecting current vertex and an unvisited vertex V. 3. Set current vertex to V. 4. Mark V as visited. 5. If all the vertices are visited, then complete cycle with joining the last and first vertices. Another algorithm for the travelling salesman problem is the cheapest link algorithm. It involves picking the shortest distance between any two of the locations to be visited, then picking the next shortest and the next shortest without making a cycle until the very end. In JJ's case, the shortest distance between any two locations is 50 meters between the economics department and the computing department. The next shortest distance, 100 meters, occurs twice between the bookshop and campus hub, and between the library and digital lounge. The cycle keeps building in this fashion. The next shortest distance is 110 meters between the digital lounge and Macquarie Lecture Theatre. As there is now a path leading into and away from the digital lounge, it is removed from further consideration. The next shortest distances in order are 1. Macquarie Lecture Theatre and Early Childhood Institute. Macquarie Lecture Theatre is now out of the consideration. 2. The library and the maths department. The library is now out of consideration. 3. The bookshop and the sport and aquatic centre. The bookshop is now out of consideration. The campus hub and the computing department. Both of those are now out of consideration. The next shortest distance is between the Early Childhood Institute and the Maths Department, but this would create a cycle. So it is ruled out, and instead the route chosen is between the Maths Department and the Economics Department. Now, the only choices are much longer distances. 650 meters between Early Childhood Institute and Arts Faculty. 1,100 meters between the Arts Faculty and the train station. And finally, to complete the cycle, between the Sport and Aquatic Centre and the train station, another 1,100 meters. In all, the total distance of the cheapest link route is 4,490 meters, more than the nearest neighbour. Steps of the cheapest link algorithm. 1. Pick the edge with the smallest weight and mark it. 2. Pick the next edge with the smallest weight available and mark it. 3. Continue doing that following these rules. Do not pick an edge that will close the circuit. Do not pick an edge that will create 3 edges coming out from a single vertex. 4. Connect the last 2 vertices to close the circuit. JJ studies the 2 routes and can see both of them double back on themselves in places, making them longer than they need to be. He's pretty sure he can find a shorter route just by eye. Here's his attempt. Just like the nearest neighbour, he starts at Macquarie Uni train station. Then he chooses the economics department, the computing department, and the campus hub. This is looking good so far, 700 meters. In fact, the route is almost forming itself. His next locations in order are the bookshop, the Sport and Aquatic Centre, the Early Childhood Institute, the Arts Faculty, and the Maths Department. He only has a few more locations to visit. Next is Macquarie Lecture Theatre, the Digital Lounge, and the library. From there, it's back to the train station. In all, his by-eye route is 4,100 meters, much shorter than either the nearest neighbour or cheapest link. It's the clear winner and the route he decides to use.